Here we go.
Okay. We have a few classes coming up. Is anyone coming to the CE tomorrow? Yeah, awesome. So Teresa Barnaby, she is an incredible instructor. She does this FaceBiz class, and it's agency law and commissioner standards. And what she does is she takes them, and it's all intertwined, 6 hours of CE in one day. But you have to be there for the full thing because it's all mixed together. But she goes through like a very hands-on, bring your laptops, how to operate your business using social media. And then she also, it's CE class, so she's very knowledgeable in what you can and cannot do, ADRE requirements, and restrictions on social media. And that changes so often. So it's a great class for you guys to be into for social media on your business. I went in February to Tucson and took it, and I consider myself pretty savvy in social media marketing, and I learned so much from this class. So that's a good one. I have the flyers back there, and then I've also sent out emails that'll have the register here button. And you want to get registered like right after this class because I have to send the attendees list over to her right after the meeting. So they can start printing out all the certificates and know who's here. August 6th, a week from today at 10:30 in the training room, we have a DISC profile class that Veronica Morrow is going to be teaching. I've taken her DISC profile class before. She's certified. She's also certified like a Tony Robbins coach. She's awesome, really high energy. Does anyone not know what the DISC profile is? So it's like a personality assessment, and it's great to know for yourself. And the way this class works is it's going to teach you how to recognize what your client's DISC is, and then you can do the mirror matching with your client. So if you have like a D, if people go and they do this test, and it measures you on your strengths and your weaknesses. So for me, I'm a high D, high I. So once you learn what a DISC profile is, anyone that's ever met me would be able to tell immediately what that is. So a D is like a driver, go, go, go. I is
interpersonal.
Yeah, yep. And then, talkative. And then SCs are people that they have their like followers of the rules. They have to have systems and models, and everything has to, they're very organized. I am like 30%, and I'm 98, 97% on the other. So what it's great for me is I've learned that I need to work on that other stuff, and I can pay attention to it. And then with clients, if I'm working with a client and I sit down and let's say the wife has already told me, all the names of her grandchildren and her dog's name and what they're doing on vacation, she's clearly an I. So I can be really chatty with her back. If I sit down with a client and they're very like focused, they're D's, they just want to like get through everything. If I start being all chatty, I'm going to lose them, right? So how that applies to you're working with your clients, it's an awesome class. And she says about an hour and a half to 2 hours for that class. August 6th, 10:30 in here. September 10th, Teresa Barney's going to be back for free CE, September 10th. I believe it's disclosure and contract law. And 2 separate classes this time. So if you want to come to one or the other, or if you just want to come to both, one will be between 9 and 12, the other is 1 to 4. So, and that's a September 10th. So we'll have the registration out for that too. Okay, I'm going to bring John Clark. Sorry, John Dwyer. Too many Johns.
Too many Johns.
I'm going to bring, Dwyer's going to come up, and he's going to kind of go over our affiliates with the company and the affiliated business disclosure and why our affiliates are our favorite practice.
Absolutely. First of all, thank you, everybody. And I personally want to thank everyone for putting up with all of this. We're even more locked down in Southern Arizona. Prescott's pretty open, relatively speaking. I went to dinner last night and had to wear my mask in, but once I got to the table, I was good. And the servers were great. So hopefully this is not going to last too much longer. And when we come together like this, we have people on both sides of the face mask thing. We just want to keep our business open. And there are zealots out there that will look for us to screw up in other businesses in the state and report us and then we got to deal with the compliance issues. And I can tell you, we've had some nasties in Southern Arizona where certain people have reported businesses who are doing their best. Restaurants are in a terrible pickle because, you know, people walk in and they don't always abide by things. But thank you, and we'll keep you advised. I hope everyone participated in that Paycheck Protection Plan, and there's still time to enroll, and it's money that's available to you. We can put out some of the things that I put out earlier in the year. So a couple other things, Teresa Barnaby's class. I've known Teresa for years. She's a national speaker. She has spoken at a number of the national conventions for a number of the franchise systems. She's an accomplished realtor. She's an accomplished investor. She's just all around smart. And she has an uncanny way of articulating a vision and articulating and making classes interesting. So if you're on the edge about whether you should come or not, I think you should come. I think you'll learn a lot. Plus you get the CE credits. So the next subject is affiliated business. So in the brokerage business, and you've heard Jeff Murtaugh, our CEO, talk about this in the past. In fact, I think the very first day we met you up at the country club, and you found out that Realty Executives International was not going to be running things anymore, that we were going to merge our two companies and come together, which we did. When we got through it, thank you all for that. That was a biggie. And one of the things he talked about, it's very, very difficult in the brokerage business to make any money. The margins are super slim. And for some brokerages, especially fee-based brokerages, and we're in that category, the Home Smarts of the world, the Remaxes of the world, for the most part, are fee-based brokerages. And so it's very difficult based on that, because to be competitive, we have to keep fees as low as possible so that you all, because you need the money too. Running a real estate business is expensive. And the last thing you want to do is pay more fees. Some of the old models, there's more company dollar. Like if you're at a Realogy model, like a Better Homes and Garden or a Coldwell Banker, there's real company dollar there because they're splits for the most part. Keller Williams is kind of a mixture in between. Regardless, it's still hard to make money. Do you mind if I take this off? I can't talk and breathe at the same time. Thank you. As long as you all are protected, okay? I'll stand back. So with that said, the only way that a modern brokerage of any size can do well and offer things like this training facility, the opening of the Lakes office, those things came at a high price. These things come at a high price. Some of the things, some of the systems we provide, even your transaction management system that you don't pay for, it costs the company thousands of dollars a month, not a year, a month. So, but we have to have that in today's world. So to have all the things, and also maybe most important, like have the kind of support for training, all the classes, like for instance, that Teresa Barnaby is going to be doing and others for us, that all has to be paid for. So how we pay for it is services. And where it may be new to Prescott, it's not new to the state of Arizona. All the major companies in Phoenix, in Southern Arizona, and Tucson, and actually around the country have affiliated services: mortgage, title, insurance, home warranty, all of those services. So we get a piece of that action, it's true. But one thing I want to assure you about anybody we choose to be a partner is that we don't want to churn partners. We don't want it just for the money. A good example in Southern Arizona is 210 Home Warranty. If you looked at 210, they actually pay us less than some of the other home warranty companies. And that what they pay us is determined by a third party who evaluates the relationship and then determines what they're going to pay us. So they can't tell us what they're going to pay us, and we can't tell them, but the third party does. So in looking at that with all of the different companies that were out there, they all made their proposals to us through the third party. And when everything was said and done, we'd have made a whole lot more money if we had chosen one of the other home warranty companies. Do you know the reason we didn't do it? What do you think? Yeah, it's claims experience. If they don't pay the claims at a high rate, what good is it to you? The last thing you want is a consumer to call after closing, something's wrong, and you suggested the home warranty company and they're not going to pay the claim. Now, it's true, I mean, there's certain things, none of them will pay, like pre-existing conditions, especially if it was noted on an inspection report. But any of the partners we choose, we vet them. That includes what we do from a charity standpoint. We vet them. I know she's been vetting because we've told her we'll support whatever's been vetted to make sure that the majority of the money goes to the cause. Like in Southern Arizona, we support the Ronald McDonald House Charities. In Southern Arizona, the money stays with the kids and their families, and that's what we want to do. So when we have partners, they do pay us. We receive this revenue stream. And in Southern Arizona, as an example, our biggest revenue stream is title. And I'll be honest with you, we make about $1 million a year on it. But we take that money and reinvest it back into the company. You know, if you look at what I earn as the president of the company, it's not what most of you think. We've had to put the money back into the company. Yes, I have ownership. It's not the majority ownership, but I do have ownership. I work for equity, okay? And not for the salary. We really kept our own salaries, our staff salaries at the lowest possible level so that we can put the money back into the business and help you with your business and provide you with the best of the best. Best people and the best support systems. So what we ask in return is that you support our affiliated businesses whenever you can. We're not asking you to desert who you're currently using. And the way it usually starts and the way we've done it for years in Southern Arizona and the brokers in Phoenix have done it is, listen, if you do if you do 3 pieces of business a month, and let's say it's home warranty, okay? Give us 1. Give the other 2 to the people you've been giving it to and see how that 1 works out for you. If you're not getting the level of service that you deserve, then don't use them. Nobody's forcing, nobody will force you to do that. We're asking and requesting. So part of the federal regulations is a federal law. Any brokerage or anybody who offers services that's covered by RESPA, so that's mortgage, title, escrow, and real estate brokerage, has to disclose to the consumer that we offer those services. If you read our affiliated business disclosure, it very clearly says you don't have to use us. In fact, we recommend that you shop. I don't know how much more blatant you can get. I think sometimes we're afraid as agents to present things like that, but the fact it's just a disclosure. You don't have to do anything. Now, currently, we really don't have any services here except for one category, and that's insurance, and you may or may not know that. A few of your consumers have been called, and there's 2 companies, Crest Insurance, which is a regional broker, and they represent 20 different companies, and believe me, they're worth talking to personally. They saved me not only money, but provided better coverage for me at less money. And State Farm is the other one, and then soon it'll be Liberty Mutual. And most large brokerages offer a choice of 3 different, a broker, and then specifics like a Liberty Mutual or a State Farm. Your consumer has the option of using them or not using them. It's all about how you present it to them. This is a service. If you don't want to talk to them, just tell them that. Part of their marketing service agreement is a guarantee for 2 things. Number 1, they will not hard sell, because that's the worst thing. If we hard sold today, as maybe 20 years ago we did some of that, we're not doing it today. You know, we share information, we help people, we show them the process, right? It's the same type of thing with them. They just show the advantage of maybe doing a checkup on your insurance. That's all it means. So it's important that you get these affiliated business disclosures, and at the end of the summer, we are going to require that you present it because we're one company. And even though you don't have the others that we have in Southern Arizona at this moment in time, you still have to present it. You just explain that. Just read it, just know that we have services. Choose to use us if you want or not. We hope you'll endorse some of those services as we bring them on board if you like using them. The best way is to try it a couple of times. Is that reasonable? Okay, so that's really all that is. And where the affiliated business disclosure is located is inside of SkySlope. That's the only place that you want to go looking for it. Here's the reason why. Do you think the feds change things? All the time. We had to change our affiliated business disclosure in 2019 7 times because of regulatory, because this is a federal law, and there's heavy penalties to us and to you for not complying, at least disclosing it to the consumer. In Phoenix and in Tucson right now, in fact, the title companies will not even open escrow without the affiliated business disclosure because they're on the hook too, because they're covered by RESPA. So it is what it is. So at this point, if anybody wants to discuss it personally with me, I'm very happy. I'm very open to do that. I'll be back up here again next week for a few days. I could only come up for today. So are there any questions about affiliated business disclosure?
You said we're only with insurance.
That's the only thing that we're offering right now, Dennis.
So 210 is not even up here?
Yeah.
210 is here.
Yeah, we do have
I stand
210, yeah.
corrected. I stand corrected. And just so that you know, we're going to probably gain some momentum here in Phoenix and Tucson. A lot of the brokers have partners, fellow brokers. We work very hard as realtors to get the business. And then why should somebody else benefit from the business? Why should we have some additional benefit? You may not benefit directly, you benefit indirectly by everything that we provide for you to support your business. So you may find that we will have some kind of a joint venture with various things. Could be home warranty, it could be mortgage, it could be title. And we'll have a variety of competitors. In Tucson, our title company is called Signature Title. Signature Title is made up of Keller Williams, excuse me, back off. That's another title company. So it's our friends at RE/MAX and HomeSmart. So it's Realty Executives, HomeSmart, and RE/MAX. There's another one called Catalina Title in Tucson. It is Coldwell Banker, Keller Williams, and who am I forgetting, Craig? There's a third one, Tierra Antigua, which is the big independent fee-based broker in Southern Arizona. And then the home services company, because they're the biggest company in the marketplace, that's Long Realty, it's Long Title. So that's very common. You'd see the same thing with the large brokers. They partner because there's shared costs in running, especially things like title. There's a lot of money there, but you got to spend a lot of money to get there. So as we continue to roll things out, we're going to be totally transparent. I know that's a word that's overused, but we tell the truth. And we will tell you exactly what's happened. I told you what we earned last year in Southern Arizona, and a lot of that money was used to come into Northern Arizona and actually improve things. We're opening a new office, company office in Payson. We've made some changes at the Prescott Valley office.
Sedona?
And Sedona. Sedona, when you have a chance to go up and see the new office compared to what was there before, it's like day and night. When you have a market that's what, the average sales price is about $750,000, and you have an office that doesn't reflect that, not good. So we now have a really nice, great looking office in a great location. And I'll be there next week with Debbie Smith, and Kayla's going to come up, and hopefully John can make it up too. So enough said. Any questions of me before I leave and let Kayla run the meeting now? A lot of words. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Get Craig up here to go over the new review platform for all you guys.
All right, so, excuse me. So hopefully you guys got an email already regarding the new review platform. It's called Arrivala. Basically what this is, and with any other company that we work with, we want to make sure we're providing you guys the best service. So we went through about 20 different companies that do this, and this was the best one that we could find. Doesn't mean it's the best in the world. Just give us some feedback. Let me know what you think of it, what you like about it, what you don't like about it. If if you did not get that email, let me know. We'll get that out to you. We're gonna send another announcement out.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Would you spell it for us?
It's called Arrival Lock. So the word arrival
I signed up.
with the word A. So I got a number of you guys have already signed up already. Not sure who has or has not. So what, you will get another email. We'll send another one out either tomorrow or Monday at the latest.
You didn't sign up?
When you get that, this is an opt-in, not an opt-out, so you don't automatically have this unless you reach out to me directly and say, hey, I want to be part of this. It is free of charge to you guys. But what this is normally you have a transaction with your clients. You guys, mostly all of our clients are online, right? Well, we want to build your database and fill it up with good reviews. So what this is, I can send out a review request for my clients. Hey, can you give us a review on whatever they use? I don't care if it's Zillow or whatever. Most of us don't do that. And if we do, we usually use one, maybe two platforms. This platform actually will send that to your clients for you, and you can pick and choose where that goes to. It can go up to 20, 30 different places, but it's one review from your clients. That same review goes out to everywhere else. So it'll go to Zillow, to Trulia, to your Google business page, to your Facebook business page, whatever you want. There's all kinds of different options. You get to pick and choose where that goes. Your clients see one review, you in return see 10, 15, 20 reviews. Make sense? Any questions on that? So pretty user-friendly system. The way it's branded, every one of them, it's not real customizable as far as the branding. That's because of the state of Arizona. It does have the Realty Executives logo on it, and they are listed first, and then it'll be your name or your team name or however you want to have listed after that. So when you send me the request, just let me know how you'd like your name to appear on there. I'll send that out to you. You should get give me about 24 to 48 hours and you will have that set up.
How do we contact you?
So you can reach, you will get an email, but you can reach me at Craig Thompson, C-R-A-I-G, Thompson, T-H-O-M-P-S-O-N, Homes, H-O-M-E-S, @gmail. And when I set you up, you will get some instructions on there what to do and how to set it up. Okay, pretty user-friendly system, but hopefully this will build your reviews online and build your online presence. All right.
Is there any way of them taking old reviews? And it'll syndicate if they wanted to?
I don't know.
That's a good question. That'd be kind of fun.
I don't know on that. If you guys have had a database of clients that you've been working with for years, you can actually take that database or Excel spreadsheet, whatever, upload that in the system if you want. You can say, hey, I want everybody to receive a review request from me. So you can upload that all at once. You don't have to do everybody individually. There are certain systems, if you like, you can pair it up with, depending on what database you use, you can have it paired up so that, hey, every time I have a transaction, it automatically sends them a request at the end of a closing or however you like. So there's different ways you guys can do it, but it's pretty user friendly. Again, have any questions on it, reach out to me, let me know. All right.
Cool, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Mr. Clark has some awesome news about a form that's no longer required, which we all love.
You'll be happy to hear this.
Yeah.
Okay, the COVID-19 addendum is no longer going to be required. And removed. It's been removed. That doesn't mean that you still will not have discussions with your sellers and your buyers about what's happening locally, and some people will still have issues, but the addendum itself was very confusing. People were not signing it properly, and if you end up coming to the point where close of escrow is delayed because of COVID, then that's something you should negotiate at that time. The addendum itself kind of created a problem there where you checked certain boxes and then nobody knew what they should sign and not sign. So that's all gone. So be happy about that. That's it.
Thank you. All right. So has anyone noticed anything new in their SkySlope?
Yes, forms.
Forms is live. I'm going to show it to you right now. So what they have made live right now in Forms is there's an app in your SkySlope. Yeah. There's an app in your SkySlope now that's Forms and DigiSign. So now this is going to be a one-stop shop. December 31st, Zip Forms is going away. So you're free to keep using that until then. But I think now's a great time. And once you kind of see how simple they've made this and user-friendly, you're going to be able to pull your forms, create templates. So if you get a listing, you can just go to create file, pull up that template, and within that template, you could already have filled out all of the broker information, everything on the last page, to where every time you pull that up, it's just going to automatically be in there. You can even automatically fill in, if for your buying template package, if you use the same title company, you can already have that pre-filled out. Just to save you some time, if title ends up changing when you get in and upload that template, it'll still give you the option to change it. So it's not in there permanently, but if you use the same title company or something like that over and over, if you always put the inspection period to 14 days, or you can do that in your template. So that's reminds you that you do that every contract. All right. So you're going to log into your SkySlope. For this, the very first time, you're going to need your NERDS number for a free hat. Who can tell me the easiest place to find your NERDS number if you don't already know it?
My password book.
Very nice hat.
MLS, don't throw me the hat.
Nobody knows where to find your NERDS number?
I have a card.
NER.
Yes, there's an easier way on something that you log into hopefully every day. So if you get into your MLS, into PAR, open up the MLS, go to your profile, and when you click profile, it's right there at the top, like underneath your photo. So handy dandy. Did anyone answer that?
No hand, I'm good.
All right, there's more chances.
You get
to win
the hat,
today.
Karen.
John Gebhardt was up here yesterday and made us new hats. The ones I've been giving out was just the crest, and now we have ones that say Arizona Territory. Getting all fancy. Okay, so in your SkySlope, when you log in, you're going to go up here to the top right, click the apps, go into Forms. So I've already been into mine. The very first time you guys do this, there's going to be a little box that pops up, and it's going to ask you to put your last name and your NERDS number in. And what that's going to do is it's going to load all of your forms. So if you have, if you're members of multiple MLSs, it's going to give you all of those forms into your SkySlope here. So, okay. So you can create your files from here now. You still have access to create them the old way from the main SkySlope page, but you're not going to have access to the forms. So if you want to just get in the habit of coming into the Forms app now and creating your files through here, yes.
You said it transfers everything from your, that you already have in your templates. So if I have what we have in our zip form.
No, so that's, yeah. So you're going to have to start from fresh on your templates in here. Your zip form templates will not transfer over to here.
Okay.
What about transaction manager?
No, their templates, no templates from any other platform will transfer over here.
The whole concept behind this was to have one platform, only one place to go that does everything you need to do that's encrypted. Transaction desk, if you want to use that personally, you're welcome to do that. But, and zip forms will be good through the end of the year for anybody who feels that they want to do it. But everything is inside of this one platform. This is, I would only want to go one place. I wouldn't want to go, we invested additional dollars to make sure that this got done this way, because we hated transaction desk, that it adds multiple steps to when you process your paperwork. Carla and I vetted it, and it was awful. It was awful. I said, I was getting a headache actually using it. So I said, we gotta find something different. So we talked to our friends at SkySlope, and lo and behold, we didn't know they were working on the fix. And we started beta testing it last October.
Yeah. Okay. So, to create a file, this is just, once you get in and you put your NERDS number in, this is, I haven't clicked on anything else. This will be in your first page. You can go to create file, and then it really walks you through very simply. We're also, we're recording this today, and I'm gonna send this recording out in an email, and I'm also gonna send a bunch of links. I believe Carla may have already sent out the email to everybody with the links for the training videos, but SkySlope did a really great job of breaking a bunch of different steps into separate videos. So you're not gonna sit and watch a long training video. There's little ones that are, 2 minutes long, and how to make a template, how to create a file. They're great videos. So you have to pick your representation. You need listings. Okay. And the email is going to be important because when you create your file, you're going to be able to send your forms now directly through DigiSign for signature through here. So when you're creating your clients, you're going to want to have your email in here too.
And you want to use this because it's encrypted. You don't have to use your email. And what that entails, because that's Hack City. It can be if you don't have the encryption. So that's another reason why you want to use it, send it out here and put in the email that you're going to send to your clients. Everything will be initiated out of SkySlope.
So when you're creating your file here, there's 2 ways that you can pull up the property information. If you're working with buyers and you know the property, you can just go to import MLS data, and it'll find the MLS number, it'll import everything in for you. Also, if you're working with sellers, you can also get into the MLS, put your listing in there as inactive, and it'll assign you your MLS number, and then come in here and you can create your file, and it'll pull up all that data too. And then naming the file, it gives you the option to just hit address or primary client, so you can name it with the client. If you're creating a file for, let's say you just start working with some buyers, and what is the first thing we want to do when working with a buyer before we ever take them to a property? Buyer form. Absolutely. So if you want to get that form in here, I would create this transaction file, and you don't have to put an address on the property or do the MLS yet. And then you could just use your client name. And then just pull up the form, the buyer broker form, and it'll already have your client's information in it. When you find the property, then you can assign the MLS number to the property, and then it'll auto-populate through all of your forms that you have in there. So we're just gonna do 123 Main Street. So I'm not gonna do a template yet because you guys won't have the templates yet. We're gonna walk through that here in a second. And then you can create your file. If you had all your templates, that's where you can pull up your listing packet, your buying packet, whatever template that you want to put in there. So what I liked about this too, you guys didn't see the first ones that popped up because I had already went through all that. But as you do this the very first time and get in there, and you can create a test, like a test file and play with it if you don't have anything new right now. But the first time you do it, they have put so many of these little like windows in there that'll walk you through too and kind of show you all the different things. We'll click out of there for now. Okay, so you're gonna wanna look right here at all libraries. It'll have the PAR, it has our Realty Execs territory file, AAR, and then also if you're members of any other association, all those will be in here as well. So we're just gonna add the forms. And you can search here too. agency. We'll just do a couple, but when you go in, this is why it would be great to do your templates first. Like if you guys want to play around with it today, I'm going to show you in a second how to do your templates, or else every time you create a file, you're going to have to search and look for all of these forms. Okay. And again, these will pop up.
So Kayla, question for you. So there, I know there's a number of you, they use transaction coordinators. So we need to make sure that they're up to speed because they're going to do this for you and they'll create your templates for you. If you've got a transaction coordinator, it's worth it to have them do it the first time.
Absolutely.
Later this year, we'll be able to, as a company, create the templates. But SkySlope thought it was so important because we were late into the year, and with COVID, this thing should have been rolled out 2 months ago, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
So that's why it's being rolled out, and otherwise we would have done the templates for you. But we felt it was important to get this in your hand because so much of it's automated, and it just makes it easy for you to work with your clients.
Okay, so when you come into the form, this is right here too, because remember we didn't import anything from the MLS. So if you're working with a buyer and you've created the file with no property address and you haven't linked anything to the MLS, it'll always give you that button up there until you link it to an MLS number. So if you're writing a purchase contract, you can also, deactivate that MLS number too. Let's say you didn't get the offer. And then with a new property, same buyer, same file, it'll let you do a different one too. So you can, as you can see, everything that we already told the file, it's already in there. Anything that you add on one form, it's going to add to all of your forms. So if you start adding the seller's information, buyer's information, anything that you add that has those same areas in other forms, it'll auto-populate through your forms. Legal description. So on here, it's only going to give you, when you have multiple lines, it'll only give you, you can write, you know, in some, I think it's zip forms that you have to like stop it perfectly and then click on the next line and stop it perfectly and click on the next line. This one, you just can like type, and it'll fill it up if it's multiple, but it does give you a limit. It won't shrink the writing. So like if your legal description is huge and it's not fitting in here, you can always just see attached addendum 1 and then put the legal description on addendum 1.
Could you put it in a blank page? It was number, what's a blank page, 7? Is it additional terms?
Possibly reference.
Yeah, could you do
Page
that?
said, we have a broker in
The
here.
additional terms for.
Additional terms.
Yeah, I've done
In the contract.
Yeah.
it. Keep it in the same.
If the legal doesn't fit in the legal description and you
Yeah,
have
and
to
that's where you run
reference.
into
Just say additional terms and then put the whole thing there.
Okay.
Meets and bounds are the big issue, because they can be a full page sometimes.
Right. So you have either option. On the one-liners, it will give you anything that's just the one line, that'll start, it still only gives you so much room, but that one, it will start shrinking the lettering so you can write a little bit more. All right. So let's say once you go through and you've clicked all of your whatever forms, you filled them all out, you can prepare signatures or you can save and exit. So let's go to prepare signatures. I can name my envelope. I have the seller, the role, and you can either make people receive a copy or sign. If you've added more people to your transaction, like you might have buyers and sellers in there, they won't need to sign anything, but they'll all pop up in this one little window. So you'll want to assign them no action. Okay, so we're gonna, anytime you want to go back to your main page, you're gonna go to the left, top left up here under forms. And then this page will always give you all of your transactions that you have open. So we're gonna pop over to templates. So I have created one. To create your template, you can go to 2 different options, create template. Let's just, these you can just keep click, click, click. But you'll want to search through, your sheet and get all your packs. Continue, you can name template. And then it's gonna let you change whatever you want. Anything that you change at this point, when you're creating your template, you can add in your broker numbers, your information at the bottom, if you use the same title company. You can add all this right here, and then you can save the template, and then that's always saved in there. So, yeah. Anyone have any questions?
Yeah, how do you assign the template to your property address?
Yep, I can show you that. So I'm gonna go back to the beginning. If I'm creating a new file, if I create a new file, it's down here at the bottom. After I filled out of that, I can choose a template
Oh, okay.
to add to it. If I haven't added a template yet, but I've created a file, you can apply a template here too, once you get in there. So they made it super user friendly. I think most of us that have used Transaction Desk Zip Forms, it's a lot of the same stuff. What's great here is that you are gonna log into your SkySlope and you have your signing. It's gonna auto populate. You have your forms. Everything's one-stop shop.
So you said we can use Zip Forms through December, correct?
December 31st.
Yeah, but we really need to learn this, even if we have a transaction that.
It'll save you an enormous amount of
The
time if
contracts
you
are written
really,
through
if you
this,
do a lot of
right?
transaction
Yeah,
size.
Right.
Yeah.
This
we
is-
would have to.
Everything here is automated. It was designed to be automated to make things easy, like pulling directly from the MLS, being able to send inside the system directly to your clients encrypted, the forms you need for them to sign. And even the way the signing occurs now is very similar to DocuSign. It's super, super easy. It just drops to the next place, and boom, 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 it's done. The transaction coordinators are gonna love it because it's
Yeah.
gonna save them an amazing amount of time.
Big time.
On Zip Forms, it's going away December 31st. Does that mean that all of your clients where you have their contracts and things, that's gonna go down to?
Yes.
My understanding is that's the case. So if you have a hard drive that you want to download that, those of us that have been doing business for a lot of years, we probably have a lot of clients. And so fortunately, those hard drives, or you can do cloud storage, Amazon, Google, there's a variety of them.
Dropbox.
Dropbox out there, Box. So,
So once you save what you created, everything that's typed, how do you go from there to having them to design it?
So at the bottom, once you go into your file, so I'm in my file, I can go to contract. And then once you're in there, you can prepare for signatures or save and exit.
So will you be able to get all of them ready, just like you do in a e-sign? They're all in one document that goes to them for signature.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all together.
Because if you go back here, I can click on them to add them.
You just keep clicking on it, there we go.
Yep, and so if you had your whole template in there, you start the file, apply template, you've already put all your client's information in there, you've pulled all the information from the MLS. So when you get in there, all your forms are in there, but you might not need all of them initially for signature. So you can just click which ones you need to sign, and then you can fill them, change what you need to, and then prepare for signature.
And when you do prepare for signature, where it saves you a ton of time is on that, especially because going to like Zip Forms, you have to drag and drop all your signature spots. You might miss them, we all do it. This is already filled out. It already knows if you're working with the buyer side or seller side, it fills all of it in for you. So it's already pre-populated, so I don't have to do anything.
It already adds, the signatures.
Yep.
When you see the signature field, you're not dragging and dropping.
Dragging it.
It recognizes where each signature goes, and if they're already on there.
If the only thing it will not pre-fill out for you is any of the spots where you have to check mark or fill in information. Everything else will be pre-populated. So like the lead-based ink, for example, where you always have to check mark if it's, information was provided or not provided. You have to go and create a check mark for that, but all the signature blocks, initial blocks are filled out.
The one thing you need to watch for though, on if you still want to skim through and look, I mean, you're sending it to your clients for signatures. And the one thing you're gonna find is like the lead-based paint, pre 1978 after, it shows them initially both sections. So you just need to delete whichever one. Yeah, because it pulls up because it's initial, like seller initial, so it makes them initialable.
Can you show the template?
I'm sorry?
Can you show the template? It says apply template. Can you show that?
Yeah, so because there's no template, I just added forms on this one. So if I go to apply template, these are my 2 templates I've prepared. So I can click whichever template,
Okay.
go down to the bottom and apply it. And then all those forms pop up in there as well. It just adds to it. So you can even have like, if you want to make it really detailed, your templates, you can have a pre-listing template. You can have, you can make as many templates as you want, and then you can just keep adding them to the file. So then when you open it the first time, you might not have like all of them in there. So however you like to organize your stuff.
Is there a way to send the contract, say for instance, to your client so they can review it before you have them sign it? So, because if it's just jumping from spot to spot, a lot of times people don't read and they don't really know what's in the
Yeah, so
contract.
you would just click these, and instead of, you can either
Okay.
download it
Okay.
and it'll download,
Uh-huh.
or
Okay, so you could separate email it to them. They can review it if they want changes or,
Right.
and
Yeah.
you can make that and then send for signature.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
Awesome.
Also, this morning when I got in, I'll show you this button too. So this morning when I got in, I was having some issues with when I was creating a file where you have to assign representation, buyer, seller, landlord, tenant. My button wasn't going. And so I came up here from the main page. If you click the SkySlope Forms, hit the help button, support. This was at 7 o'clock this morning. And I put my question in there. Immediately it popped up and it said, give us a minute to review your question. I asked them to please call me and put my phone number in there. And within 10 minutes, a service rep had called me and we figured it out. What it was, I was operating on Explorer and he had me switch over to Chrome and everything worked perfectly. So use Chrome on that system.
I think Chrome, Firefox, Edge. Edge is going to replace Internet Explorer anyway, so I'd get off of that. It's not as, Edge is a much better browser than.
Oh, it wasn't Explorer, I was on Edge.
Okay.
Sorry, not
So
Explorer, I was on
they're not
Edge.
are they going to adapt to that? That's a good
He
question.
said the problem with Edge is
It's edgy.
it doesn't update as much. And so when they've made changes or fixed stuff, it's not catching those. So he said that it operates the best off of Google Chrome.
Okay.
So, and there was a few little issues that I was having on Edge that I had caught before, and I haven't seen those at all using Chrome. So, but this support is awesome. They jumped right on it. I would recommend using this before you even call like me or anybody here, because this is new to us too.
That's 24/7, 365 days a year from San Francisco. It's not offshore.
Yeah, they were super helpful.
So remind me on this Susan Mize, the SkySlope, it's not trainings she does on the Tuesday and Thursday.
She does, and she'll be training to this new SkySlope. She is responsible for broker review to oversee that, and she will be the point person for SkySlope internally. So she's the person if it's a system problem like what Kayla just described, go into the help function here and SkySlope can help you. But if it's something having to do with the forms or anything like that, Susan's been playing with it. She's been part of the beta testing since last October. So she's very up to speed on it. We met with Susan and Carla yesterday and went over everything. And this is I think if you just get in there and start using it, I think some of you already have. I think you're gonna agree, oh my God, why didn't we have this a year ago or 2 years ago?
I bet you could do all your templates too in less than an hour. However many templates you want to make, it's click, 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 click. You fill out the information on one form, it's gonna auto-populate. Do we have that? Did you make that list of required documents
I think
or a
Susan-
different list?
I think Susan's gonna send that out to everybody.
Okay.
I think we talked about that the other day.
Perfect. So I will, as soon as we have that, if I can get it today, because I think I've already seen it. So if we can get it today, I'll send it out with this email. And so everyone, you'll have the lists of all the required documents, which will help you make it a little bit just faster and getting through there.
In their exact names, so that when you're searching for that, you'll know the names.
To answer your
It's a lot of
question,
transactions.
no, I did not.
Okay.
I'm like, was I supposed to do that?
Clark's sleeping back there.
Where am I?
Does anyone have any questions on this?
Clark.
Yeah.
No?
I was playing with this yesterday, and it's really, even for an old broad, it's really,
An old rancher, stop that.
yeah, a low tech.
Yeah.
Could we get like an updated list, maybe monthly or something with, the company emails or?
Yeah, absolutely.
That would be awesome.
Yep, I'll send that out. I'm making a lot of promises and not writing them down.
Yeah, there you go.
Document list, broker list.
Don't lose that book, kid.
I know. My life. Okay. Let's play games for prizes.
You want the lights back on?
Yeah. Great. Okay.
Thank you.
What date is Zip Forms going away?
December
December
31st.
31st. So I am going to get Mr. Bob. Which color would you like? He's hiding behind his mask, but
He needs it more than I do.
Oh.
Thanks, Dennis.
Bob just returned from the Realty Executives family 2-3 days ago.
Yeah.
So welcome back. Lori is a new agent. She's in the Goodwin office.
Yeah.
So welcome, Lori. Okay.
We need a harder question. Come on. You're gonna get too many.
What's John Clark's birthday?
That was Lincoln's birthday.
How about we just guess the month?
Right? Okay. We have a second CE class coming up. What is the date and two-part question
September
for a
10th.
hat and a koozie?
August 6th.
Okay.
August 6th.
You got the first part. So if you can get the second part, you get a hat and a koozie. What are the two classes for credit?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, does anyone know what the two classes are? Or what credits you're gonna get?
There's a class tomorrow.
On September 10th.
Oh, September 10th.
Efficiency and commission standards.
6 hours.
No, that's tomorrow. Contracts and, yeah.
There you go.
You want a hat or koozie? All right, which color? Black. All right, thank you. You're welcome. What is our amazing, wonderful, talented instructor's name that's doing our CE the next two classes?
I know, Teresa.
Teresa.
Yeah, hi. Okay. Who can name 4 of our affiliates?
Crest, Liberty Mutual, State Farm, and 210.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
By the way, how do we contact who are our contacts with the insurance?
We can get that to you.
I'm gonna write that.
And you said press.
Get that, you put. Crest is based, they have offices in Tucson, Phoenix, San Diego, Los Angeles, Denver, Sierra Vista. But their headquarters, believe it or not, are in Tucson. And they're like a mini Lloyd's of London. They can underwrite just about anything.
Are we better off though with State Farm locally? or
I think, I would say that if it's State Farm locally, I don't know that it's any different. It's still the same policy that they're gonna underwrite. It's usually somebody who doesn't have State Farm or doesn't have Liberty Mutual, or in a broker's case, Crest Insurance, where they offer to represent 20 A-plus companies, some of whom you've never heard of. But they are A-plus, and if you look at like Consumer Reports and so on and so forth, they're always at the top of the list for claims experience. So there's an option.
Do they do modulars?
They do, I think they do, they can underwrite anything. They actually have underwriters in Tucson. So they don't have to go to the insurance lines and do the underwriting typically.
Right.
They can underwrite it themselves. That's why we like them.
Did you say Liberty Mutual was one too?
Yeah, that hasn't been introduced to Prescott yet.
Oh, it's coming.
It's coming, but there won't be any more than that. We just wanted 3 choices for the consumer, from a customer service, a broker, and 2 frontline companies that are highly recognized, like a State Farm or the Liberty Mutual.
Okay. This is a 2-part question, and you have to raise your hand. What is the name of the review platform, and what is Craig Thompson's email address?
Arrival at and Craig Thompson's email address is CRAIGTHOMESON
Oh.
Yeah.
Good job. What are the last 4?
You're awful smart.
What are the
for
last
your age.
3 offices, the new offices of Realty Executives located?
The newest,
Yeah.
besides Sedona?
Arizona.
Okay, Judy, you can keep answering if you want.
Sedona.
So you got Sedona?
Yeah.
Case,
Prescott Valley.
what?
Prescott Valley. Prescott Valley.
Prescott Valley's not new.
Crystal Creek.
Goodwin's not new.
Come on, Judy, I really want to hear it. I can't think.
Guess what? Get Garrett.
Okay. And the last one for the last koozie. Whose favorite beverage to put in one of these is also Coors Light? Show of hands. Okay. Thank you guys for coming. Part of our culture is really bringing people together, and and it's been really hard with COVID and coming in here, and we were so excited to start, developing the culture back in here, and so we're really doing our best. And thank you guys so much for coming and being a part of this today.
Thank
You cannot do it.
But I do all of these.
So when I was in there, I was excited. So I asked the guy this morning.
There's no reason why.
So he said. Yes, but he said you can do it's just, but that's easy, just do one file. It's like you can make.
Thank you, Caleb.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Oh.